Welcome to the morning. Welcome to Inside Out, brought to you. So today what we're going to talk about in Inside Out is going from self-conscious to self-confident. Sound good? Going from that smaller place to a bigger place. All right? Self-conscious to self-confident. There we go. All right. What do we think about? Well, folks, who are you?
Courtney, hi guys.
Hey, Courtney, and I'm Sharon. Sorry, we're just rolling today. So how to be less self-conscious in the world? Anybody got issues around being? Let me read the definition first, and then we'll decide. It says feeling self-conscious. Self-conscious can lead to a feeling of anxiety and discomfort, while people with certain conditions such as social anxiety are more often likely to feel self-conscious. It is something that many people experience at least occasionally. It tends to be particularly common in situations where we are focused on attention or being evaluated by others. So, self-conscious refers to a tendency to be preoccupied with our own appearance or actions, particularly about how we think others might perceive us. This heightened awareness of self can contribute to distress, discomfort, and anxiety. Right? So it is a feeling we have about ourselves, our appearance, or our actions. Yes, Robin.
Self-consciousness is something that I lived with all my life. I moved every 2 years and had to go to new school every 2 years, and I couldn't stand going there. I was so self-conscious when I was the new kid in the class.
Yeah.
And I had to force myself to get out there because otherwise I'd not have any friends.
Yeah.
And then as I grew up, my self-consciousness grew to low self-esteem as well. And as I did, as my behavior was bad, or I made bad choices.
Okay.
As I made bad choices through my life, I think that hit my self-esteem as well and made me more self-conscious, because if you knew what I was like on the inside, you just not want to be around me.
Yeah.
So through the grace of God, I found a program that forced me to look at all of my problems, my selfishness. And that's another thing I think self-conscious is about. It's all about self. It's all about me. Which was one I was trying to avoid and look out at other people. And this is years. I'm old with that. And so as I was able to talk to somebody else about some of my bad behavior, forgive myself, and know that my higher power loved me, I could start working. That was the place I could start working on loving myself.
Nice.
And I think it takes daily work,
Mm-hmm.
Today I was self-conscious. I had my meeting, but again, it was all about me.
Yeah.
It's all about me when I start doing that stuff. And another thing that I think is caring what people.
Please turn your phones off.
Caring what people think about you.
Absolutely.
I lost that a long time ago. Because who in the hell cares?
Oh, I love that.
What other people think of me? Because all I am, I can't change. And so let them talk. I do not care what other people think of me. And that definitely gives you confidence to say that.
That is that preoccupation with self. The constant thinking I have about what do they think about what I'm doing? What if they don't like it? What if they don't like me? What about how I look? I've had people comment on how I look. Something about wearing mama pants, mother pants, something. I don't know. Anyway.
I remember when I first when I walked into a fellowship and never, been in recovery before or anything. I remember how self-conscious I was, and my social anxiety was through the roof. And I share this all the time about I couldn't even pick a reading up to read it, even though the words were in front of me. I just felt like, oh, I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to sound stupid or whatever. Even that little thing, it stood in my way for a long time. And I mean, a minute. It took a while before I found the courage to even pick up a reading. which is blows my mind now of the things that I can do. But it's taken me some years of work to get here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. It is that practice, I think. I understand with the readings, there are readings that we do in 12-step meetings, and some of them are quite lengthy, and some of them got some words in it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Right? And I remember being so self-conscious because I'm a poor reader, I think. Right? But I was fine. And it wasn't until somebody went, "You're reading."
Mhm.
You know, I'm like, "Oh, I don't have a choice." And I had to begin to come out of that shell, that constant worry about what people are thinking about me. Right? Right? Here are some signs. Yes, yes.
So,
Nice and loud.
okay, so like with the self-conscious, I believe that it's valid. Like, if you feel that way, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's something that's valid. Because at the end of the day, like, people are always judging us. Like, that's just life. I was thinking, like, when you brought that up, it was a story of a guy that went into a church and, like, he wore raggedy clothes on purpose.
Yeah.
And everybody was judging this man. And come to find out, he was a new pastor of the church.
I read that.
Yeah,
I read that.
yeah.
I read that
So
too.
they wanted people to see, like, this is even in the church, even in a place that you think is safe.
Yeah.
It may not be safe because there's someone there.
And people
That you don't
Hold it,
think
yeah.
or act like people
Whoops.
Exactly. So what we need is it's good to just know, like, but it really matters how I feel about myself.
I'm going to tell that story again to make sure that they heard it. I'm going to tell that story again real quick. My friend was talking about a story about church, and he was wearing very raggedy clothes and looked disheveled, and didn't appear to be having some significant issues. So he came in and he sat in the back of. No one talked to him. No one spoke to him. No one welcomed him. No one asked him if he needed anything. And it ended up that was the pastor of the church, and he came to see what he was working with. Right, mental, about what we fear, right? But we need to be able to bust out of that, right? Here's your reading. Here's this person. Begin to know people, because when I begin to know people, I judge them less, right?
Mhm.
But I'm still worried about what people think. Ooh, stop that. I hit a button. No. Oh, okay.
Now I can really see myself.
Now we really are. Hey, Todd's in the house. He says hello to everybody. Hey, Robin. And she says sometimes it's hard to be self-conscious, confident, especially with a label from the doctors. Labels make us self-confident, don't they? Stigma. What kind of? No, we ain't gonna talk about labels. I mean, we ain't gonna throw any out. They're ugly. People put a word on me sometimes and expect that word to be accepted by me. And a lot of times it is, because I don't know any better. Right? Yes, Henry.
It's not what they call you, it's what you answer.
Ooh, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to.
So the labels, the stigma of being labeled, it's hard, but when you're striving
Yeah.
to be your best self, it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah.
That's right.
You understand? Because the focus is on me just shedding the labels on and going about my business, which is this, helping people.
Yeah.
Get help for me.
I can prove those labels wrong, can't I, Henry? It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. I love that, Henry. I love that. And what I love here is that we all understand what we're striving for. Those labels don't hurt as much if I know who I am. Yes, sir.
For me, it's not so much what other people say to me or say about me. That right there, that's the easy way. So I really don't care what people have to think or have to say when it comes out their mouth. But for me, the struggle is not what people are saying. It's what I think they're thinking.
Ooh, that's a good
You know what I mean? You
one.
can say whatever you want to me, and that's just your opinion.
Yeah.
But if I'm sitting here and I'm looking, I'm thinking, well, what are these people thinking about? That's where my struggle is.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
was point to back that up. This was like late 1990s. I go to emergency room chest pain. So he asked all the conditions. I put down, what my mental health challenge was. And, doctor at some point was looking for me. I know I stepped, this is in New York City, I stepped out to smoke cigarettes. He said, where's that kid with
Yeah.
the whole emergency room?
Mhm.
So what did I think she thought of me? And well, I'm gonna let you treat me for
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
You just blabbed out my whole business. and
Yeah.
you feel this small.
That's
You know,
right.
so
That's right.
that.
And sometimes when we go to the hospital, that label can cause us not to be helped, treated physically, right? Because people can see that. And if I buy into that, though, that's where it really hurts, And there is I remember a training I took, and there were people in there that would say, well, the bipolar in room, blah, blah, blah. Or, the somebody with a physical, if the diabetic in room 23, identifying people only by those labels.
And that doesn't define that.
It doesn't define me today, right? I am not that box. I'm not that label today. I am not the one that you can call me blah, 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 because I don't answer to that anymore. But you know what? I'm not ashamed of that either. Tell it. Tell what I am. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you. Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy.
Oh.
It's what we tell ourselves.
Yes.
Of what, because it starts with us.
Us.
We have the mind,
Yes.
and it's what we tell ourselves. So it's like sometimes I'm like wondering if we change that negative self-talk.
Yeah.
You know.
It works, doesn't it? It works.
We do. We project. I think
Do
I
what?
project what, the lies and how I've seen myself look in the mirror for, so many years. So for me, I'll just use, a part of my journey. Like I was a mother, there was no hope for me. I was a chronic relapser. I was never going to get it together. My children did not they deserved a better life. Like I went through this whole judicial system telling me these things. And in the beginning, it was tough, of course, to hear all of that. But on the flip side, what I did was I surrounded myself with people that didn't tell me that stuff, that helped me as I was trying to gain some confidence and you know what, I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to give up. I had to have people around me that gave me the goods, that said, hey, you can do this. This is going to happen. Believe it. And, and it helped me get through. But I projected it. I just kept myself in this self-loathing place for a long time. Yeah.
My sponsor told me one time that I shouldn't worry about what other people think because they don't think of me that often. What? What? Don't they know who I am? 8 billion people in the world. It's all about me. It's all about me. But it is about me, isn't it? It's my thoughts. It's my projecting. It's my worry. It's all those things that I can grab a hold of and really sink for me, because that kicks up all the other shit, right? When I think somebody is thinking something about me that's negative, it can trigger those that rejection, that abandonment, all that stuff. Did you have something, Alan?
No, I was gonna say, you should be a commercial. You should say, I'm the president of the Incorporated.
Okay. I'm not just a client, I'm the president. Remember that with the hair club? All right, signs of being self-conscious. See if these apply. Feeling as if everyone is watching you, feeling embarrassed, guilty or ashamed, feeling responsible for everything that happens, constantly apologizing for mistakes, having low self-esteem, struggling to deal with criticism. Anybody? Yeah. All right. So I think everybody has a moment, right? Everybody has those moments where let me just put it on me. I can be consumed by what I think other people think of me. And my sponsor, she had a t-shirt that said, "What you think of me is not my business." And I love that, because that is true, but it's so hard. I don't know about anybody else, for me, just to think, oh, I wonder what they think, right? I wonder what they're saying about me, right?
Well, for me, like when you say that, I think what's helpful for me is if people say things about me, like challenge it. Like if they're saying like, "Oh, you're this," like like for instance, my skin color. Like if people, "Oh, you're too dark," whatever. My thing is to challenge it. You're not too dark. Is there something wrong with me? No. I didn't choose to be who I am. I didn't choose to have any type of condition. So what I'll do is I'll challenge it.
Yeah.
What can I do to make me better? So they won't have that. Not that it matters, but it makes me a better person.
Yeah.
Regardless. So just challenge those negative thoughts and what's true is true. So who cares? The right person that will love you regardless of what it is. Like, who cares?
I like that. Challenge other people because it's not true, but I got to challenge myself too. Yes, Porter.
Sometimes I feel like I was losing myself, and I realized I never had a self to lose because I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And this time I've been having not being with you, being just myself, just nothing, just me and myself, and I ran from this being alone. The difference between being alone and being solitary and meditating. I've been meditating a lot. I needed that just to get what's going on in here. What do I feel? What do I want? What are my fears? What are my triggers? So I can get knowing what those triggers are. Gives me strength and power.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And my mother said, "You never know who's looking up to you, who sees you as an idol. Like,
yeah,
who's looking to do exactly what you're doing." And me knowing that somebody's looking up to me, and me know I don't think I am where I need to be or want to be. That's nothing to do with me. God is putting me in this place for a reason. I'm going to go through everything I went through to get to this.
And using that information, those labels about ourselves to come, knowing that they're not true, but knowing that other people are consumed by them, using our story, using that other people tried to use to bring me down, I can use as my superhero power today, my superpower. You want to do the first one on?
Yes. So what you were talking about, Porter, about things that triggered you. And so these are what causes people to feel self-conscious. Emotions related to self-consciousness begin to emerge during early childhood. As children develop a sense of self, they become more aware of social expectations and how others perceive them as they mature. And these are different reasons that can play a role into feeling self-conscious. Anxiety disorders, social anxiety, depression, difficult childhood experiences, poor self-esteem, other mental health conditions, and then also traumatic events. The reason why when you were talking about triggering the traumatic events like that, like I still to this, because I walked on eggshells for a majority of my life. Through my childhood, it was very chaotic. And so I had, because of that also like deepened like this self-consciousness, like, oh, I got to do, and I just couldn't, I didn't have any freedom, I felt like, at all. And and that just, as life went on and I got older and I, started experiencing my own as an adult, I mean, there was just more chaos that I experienced. And I just carried that on and it amplified and it got bigger. And I remember, and I still to this day, the eggshells, when I was in the judicial system and fighting for custody of my children and stuff, like I felt like I was just like, oh gosh, if I do one little thing wrong, it's going to be the end of the world. And they're going to just think that I'm this awful person. Like it was like so uncomfortable all the time. Cause I felt like that if I like just had, and that was just part of what, I had experienced throughout my life. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that makes a big difference in us, our past and how it affects the spirit today. Yes, Robin.
When I was 18 months old, I pulled, see, that's my upper scar. I pulled a pot of boiling soup on myself and had 3rd degree burns. And I was only 18 months old. And I was in the hospital for a year on morphine, so it was pretty serious. And I don't think I was self-conscious of them until I got to be a teenager. And that's when people said she'd be so cute if she didn't have those scars.
Yeah.
And I had to go to pool parties. And so I was going to start this by saying I feel great today. I am as happy as I can possibly be. I don't have these issues because I've worked for 68 years on each and every one. So at any rate, and then the moving thing, having to meet new people, and I never thought I was good enough, and their parents had more money than my parents, that whole 9 yards. And so that's how I had trauma as I grew up. But I'm so lucky that all of that trauma made me into kind of a person who needed psychiatric help and and so I've been able to work through, and I'm as happy as I could possibly be. And I just want to say that it's taken a lot of work, a lot of work.
One of the things it says in here is remember others don't see what we see.
Right.
If you knew me, you wouldn't like me. If you knew the real me, if you knew what I knew, you know what I mean? Because I know from start to end. And I judge myself on that, my past. You don't necessarily know that. When you're looking at me, you may not be thinking that. You may not be thinking about somebody that's been through trauma or someone that has experienced those stigmas and labels. You may look at me with one of those labels, but it's not what you call me. It's what I answer to. But I gotta, that inner self, and like I said, there are 3 kinds of people in the world, I've been told, right? Those that love us no matter what we do, absolutely love us no matter what we do. There are those that are not going to love us no matter what we do, no matter what we give, no matter what we present, no matter what we love on them, they will never love us. And the other third really don't give a shit. Isn't that amazing? There's a third of the people in the world that just don't give a shit about them. What? Well, that's not good. I mean, and that anybody else does that here? What all that. Yes, sir.
We had a 20-year high school anniversary, and I didn't really want to go because I didn't feel like I would be where everyone else would be. But they don't like the expectation, because what I've gone through is survive. I'm here for a reason. And telling my story gives me power. Sometimes people don't deserve my story, but people do. This is my family. And I can come back to this place right now. I'm like, it gives me strength to know that I don't not defined by what you think about me. I no longer, and usually I use the humor as that mechanism. I no longer have to do that anymore. I can just go and over just be and just enjoy the place and don't have to just be there. And don't have to have any expectations. Like, you don't have to, I just want to be there. Sometimes that's what you need to be.
Yeah.
had a train of thought this is about that.
I understand, 40. You know, I got the same train.
I'm about to get there to the high school reunion. Somebody had to ride out to kiss the bus. What would they say? They would care.
Remember, it says practice switching perspectives. If I look at the outside and what's going on in other people, if I can see, every morning I pray, God help me see the goodness in myself and others. I just pray for that every morning because sometimes I can't see. Sometimes I can't see the goodness in other people, but that's kind of rare because I've trained myself for that. But to see the goodness in me is a little harder. Anybody else? Is that a little harder? Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I'm struggling with right now is taking sorry out of my vocabulary.
Me too.
Like I even apologize for stubbing my toe or something to somebody else, and it's like, why am I sorry? You know, if you keep on saying that enough, you believe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We believe what we say.
Yeah.
We do. If we say it over and over again, it becomes real. That's my reality. And I do. How do you stop? I don't know, because I've got it bad too. I have asked a friend of mine to call me out on it because, you know, it's raining. I'm sorry. Like I got control over that shit. You know? I am so sorry it's raining. I'll make it stop. But that I'm sorry is bad for me. And I think that comes from that low self-esteem.
I think words only got the power to be given. Sometimes we can words that like that I give it meaning. Like what the definition in the dictionary, that's not what it means to me.
Yeah.
Like for me, being free and love doesn't mean what they mean love. Love is this is love to me. What other people define love has nothing to do with me. I can define what these words mean to me. These words are just words, how they make me feel, how I utilize these words, I walked into a room the other day and no one in the room spoke the same language. I'm like, how do we communicate when we didn't even have to communicate?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
When someone spoke cursed me out in another language, would it matter to me? It's only no. Hold on. I'm like, what did you say to me? That's me. My sister gets mad. My sister gets mad at my 4-year-old like nephew. Like, what he said to me? He's 4. Why are you thinking about it? Are you getting mad at that Hispanic person? You don't even speak Spanish. You don't even know English to give you a compliment. You look beautiful.
And a lot of us don't understand that language of love. I didn't in the beginning. That language of love was a different language to me. Right? I didn't understand that. I didn't speak that. Hey guys, I didn't speak that language. I didn't understand that language. I had to learn it. Right? Yes, dear. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's like I had to hold everything in because I was afraid.
Yeah.
So I think now that I'm older, it's like you're saying sorry. And it's like, and I think I'm kind of getting over it because I asked my parents, I said I'm sorry. And I was like, wait a minute, what am I sorry for?
Yeah.
You know, it just clicked, like, why are you sorry? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything to you.
Yeah.
You know, so I said to her, I was like, well, I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
It's like hard for me to take that out and just to, be myself and not like nitpick everything that I do, like walking on eggshells and what did I do this time, and it's hard.
It's just that, like, for him, I had to, like, just be open to myself to say, before, if I do say sorry, if I don't, what am I apologizing?
Yeah. It's habit, isn't it? And habit. Ooh, what is that? What is that thing? I'm going to read it.
The reframing.
Yeah, no, you do reframing. Okay. Hold on, guys. We're going to because we can't hear you very well back there. But no crosstalk. Let's keep it when you've got something to say, raise your hand and we'll call on you. Nice and loud, remember, so we can pick it up on the microphone. You got one? One of those.
Oh, yeah. So these are reframing your negative thoughts. Negative self-talk can cause you to feel more self-conscious. If your inner monologue is constantly berating, I hope I'm saying that word right, yourself, you're less likely to feel confident and more likely to think that others about yourself can help reduce these feelings of self-consciousness. When you think negative thoughts, make a conscious effort to change these thoughts to be more positive and realistic. Like, instead of thinking I'm going to mess up, reframe your thought to something more positive, like I'm going to do well because I am prepared.
I like that. I like that. Flipping it. You remember I give Erica credit every time.
Yeah.
Flip it.
Mhm.
Flip it. And that's possible, isn't it? That's possible. I can shift and practice that new thing. And that's how I get to that point. I got to decide what that new thing is going to be, though. I've got to choose that. Am I going to choose I'm sorry and practice it?
And also for sharing what I did as I was facing challenges and feeling self-conscious about everything. And then I would face something and I would become fearful. And then I would remember times that I was like, oh, I made it through that time.
Yeah.
So that self-talk, and I had to keep doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't come overnight, but as I did it, it just, for some reason, one day I woke up and I felt okay.
Yeah.
I didn't feel perfect, but I felt okay. And I felt like, I had gained a little bit of confidence. And it was just amazing because I was doing more esteemable things that made me feel good, that I surrounded myself with people that filled me, as opposed to, that would take away because I was, around all that negative crap for so long.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Robin.
So when you felt fear,
Mhm.
you thought of something that had challenged you in the past that you got through,
Yes.
and the fear would just
Dissipate.
It would increase my faith, if that makes
Oh,
in
yeah.
myself.
You
Yeah.
released your faith.
Increased my faith in myself. Yeah, because I look back over this challenging times and how I made it through them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And to know that we are strong. I am not what they said I am.
Right.
I'm not what they say I am. Right? I am what I say I am. I am what I am. I can stand what I can stand, and I can't stand no more. Quoting the great philosopher Popeye. Yes.
For me, setting an intention gives me a direction. Today, I set an intention about what I want to do, my game, how my mindset's going to be. This is what I'm going to do. Even when I go to the doctor, setting an intention, like, this is what I hope to get out of this. By setting an intention for me,
Yes.
it gives me a clear direction about what I want out of this. Even even no expectation, like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pick it back. I'm just going to listen. I'm just going to go around my head. My intention is I am not allowed to leave. I will leave. I need to go to bad lines. What this happens, what can I do? What's in my power?
My intentions and what's in my power. I like that word. Where's my power? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
To piggyback on what you said, every morning I declare my day.
Oh.
Yeah, I go into prayer, I declare my day, I read my Bible because I am a believer. And what God says about me directs my life. He says I'm more than a conqueror, I am. He said I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, I can. And that empowers me every day.
That faith, like you said, what do I have faith in?
Right.
Is it a higher power that strengthens me? Can I incorporate that strength from my higher power into my space, into my heart? And no, my higher power snuck up on me. I wasn't expecting it. I just woke up one day and went, "How you doing?" But I wasn't expecting it, and I wasn't looking for it. So, but we have that faith. We've got to have that faith, whatever those words are, the intention I set for myself today. What is it going to be? Is it going to be positive or negative? And then what am I going to surround myself with that day? How can I build my self-confidence today so that I can be that person that speaks my truth, right? My truth. Not the labels people put on me, not what other people are thinking about me, not the fact that other people aren't thinking about me, you know?
That's what affirmation is good.
Yeah.
They say this is I am. I know this is now. Every morning I have to remind myself. And intentions and just affirmations are for me. It's reminding myself I have to remind myself.
Yeah.
Because the enemy wants me to forget. He wants me to get distracted. He wants me to I have to forget. That's not true. I have to have a conversation with you. Come on, no. Sometimes I confuse like anger with fear. It's like what am I fearing? Change? Maybe change is good.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If I'm not fearful, that means I'm not growing.
Absolutely.
That means I'm growing.
Yeah.
I can't be comfortable and complacent on my life.
Ooh, comfortable and complacent. Absolutely. It says in some of the literature, we rest on our laurels. I don't know what a laurel is, but I like resting. Y'all know what a laurel is? Resting on your laurel. Yes, ma'am. Resting on your behind. Thank you, Gina. I'm going to quote Gina since she's here today. How often do I quote Gina? All the time. Every class, I think I quote you, Gina, where you said, show me your recovery, don't tell me. Show me your recovery and don't tell me. Courtney's got, there you
Yes.
go.
So this is practice in self-acceptance. So you're more likely to feel self-conscious if you listen to your inner critic. Instead of focusing on what you think are flaws or mistakes, try to practice accepting yourself for who you are. And these are some of the strategies. You can appreciate the things that make you unique. Focus on your strengths instead of your weaknesses. Celebrate your successes. Treat yourself with kindness and let go of things you cannot change. Now, that is the hardest one right there for me, that I cannot change. That one. And I will say, for me, I had to accept that I needed to wear glasses full time. And I'm just saying, and it has been a journey, years. I'm supposed to wear glasses since I was 13 years old. And throughout the years, I did not. And then I would get some glasses and set them aside. And so here recently, I was like, I need to embrace this. I cannot see. First of all, I walk around and I'm squinting at everybody. She looking at me crazy, like, what's wrong? Yeah, I was actually someone close to me. She, just kind of, so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. And it was self-conscious. I had this belief that my vanity, if I wore glasses, it would take away from whatever. Yeah, and that, just that stupid crap, when we were younger, if you wear glasses, you're nerdy or whatever, for whatever reasons throughout the years, I've had my negative beliefs about wearing glasses. And now, it's going to take a while for me to get comfortable with the idea of wearing glasses, but I need to, because otherwise I'm going to be freaking blind when I get home.
It's Sharon. No, you can see me now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Can you read those one more time?
Yes. Okay. So some of the strategies that can help you embrace who you are. One is to appreciate the things that make you unique.
Oh, those things that make us unique. Remember that there is something in you that no one else has. You are differently gifted, right? As am I. Okay, sorry.
Then focus on your strengths instead of your weaknesses.
It's easier to start from a strength.
Yes. Celebrate your successes.
I like that one. Celebrate those successes.
Yes.
Those things that we do well, those things that have happened to us. Those higher power winks. Right?
Yes. Treat yourself with kindness.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Love yourself.
Love on
So,
yourself, even if it's
yeah.
just the smallest thing, and let go of the things you cannot change. Now, I have a question. Why do you think that is, for me, that is a big challenge sometimes? I've gotten better with getting to acceptance around, I want to be the master, the puppet master, and be in charge of everything. And that's just really not how the fucking world works, right? Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but letting go of those things.
Yeah.
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 Know what's close to you, what's natural to you, even if it's positive or negative.
Yeah,
But letting go of something is hard.
it is.
It's hard.
Just like you said earlier, that your sponsor or somebody said the three people,
Yeah.
type of people in the world, and the ones that aren't going to love us. So, well, it's like we want that validation so much. And we want everybody to accept us and love us and all the things. But just knowing that, getting, that you can't change that. I
Yeah.
can't change no matter how hard I bend over backwards, do cartwheels, do this, show you this, that. That's not going to change anything. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I think that's a tough place to accept.
Yeah, because I'm steady working on that group of they ain't gonna love me no matter what, because I think I'm gonna get them to love me. When I should be spending all my time and energy with those people that love me. Love
Yes.
me. Instead of trying to get somebody to love me that doesn't, to have I've got enough love right here to sustain me, right? And around me. That's what I want to put my energy into. Finding my tribe. Yes. Finding my people, my wolf pack. Right? That makes such a difference. Robin, shut us down.
To answer this,
Okay.
how do you find that unique thing that only you have?
Ask other people. Ask other people, see it in us far more than we do. And as we share our past, people get to know us and are able to pull out those jewels. Right. Todd gives a shout out to Henry. Hey, Henry. All right, we're going to shut it down to go from self-conscious when we thinking about what other people are thinking about, to go from that to self-confident, to be able to speak your truth. I love that. To be able to be loved by other people and ourselves.
This was so good.
This was good. Hi. Two things. Share this. Somebody might need it that you know.
Yes.
You need to learn about self-confidence, right? Share it, put it out there. That's how we're changing the world, one share at a time. And check out our warm line. We've got a line that you can call 24/7. If it's 3 a.m. and this is kicking, call us. The phone number is on our website and on this Facebook page, so look for it. It is 833-390-7728. That's 833-390-7728. That's 833-390-7728. It's my TV voice. I got a face for radio, but I got a voice for TV. I love y'all. Keep peace, share love. Thanks to everybody in the room. Thank you, Todd, for being out there. Bye.